If you're thinking about running Google Ads for an electrical contractor, in this video, I'm going to break down everything that you need to know. I was recently on the Jobber podcast. We're talking about you should spend this much on new leads, and here's why. This is me and the host, Adam. And basically, we're going through and talking about how much should leads cost and what you should be spending specifically when it comes to Google Ads. So I'm going to break it down on this video and show you exactly how much you should be spending and what you should do. So what I first would like you to do is to go to Google and search for EV charger or electrician, and then search for your specific city. So I just did this one, EV charger installation, Dallas, Texas. Most electrical contractors, they want these type of jobs because it's going to be $1,000, couple $1,000. So the first thing that you see here, these are called Google local service ads. And the reason that I like to start here is because these are pay per lead. What that means is that if someone clicks this button to call you, that's when you pay for the lead. It's not pay per click like the ones that we're going to talk about down below. Now, these are very competitive. You see this company has 20,000 Google reviews. This company has 500. What that means is that if you don't have enough Google reviews, then you're not going to be shown here. And it can be difficult, but we can still use the data that we gather here to benchmark and see how much should a lead cost when it comes to Google Ads or any other ads platform in that sense. So I'll put a link to this down below, but this is the Google Ads planner for local service ads. So ads.google.com/home/local service ads. Basically, when you scroll down about halfway through here, you can put in your zip code and then you can select electrician and you can put one lead. And what this is showing us is that in Dallas, so I just picked the Dallas zip code. In Dallas, for an electrician lead, it's $18 to $27 per lead. What that means is if someone clicks this button right here, they're paying $18 to $27. We'd all say, oh my gosh, that's amazing. I can get EV charger leads for $18 to $27. Of course it is. But on the back end of Google local service ads, you can select, I just want troubleshooting. I want EV charger installations. I want ceiling fans. I want outlets. So it's not all these higher ticket items, but you can check on and check off which ones that you want. The big caveat to this is that if you don't have enough reviews, just because you turn on Google local service ads doesn't mean you're going to get a ton of leads for $18 to $27. So it can be good if you have a bunch of reviews, but if you don't have enough reviews, it's not going to be shown. However, what I like to do is use this as a benchmark number to say, okay, we know that Google's telling us that it's going to cost $18 to $27 a lead. So all the other platforms that we're spending money on, we need to make sure that it lines up with $18 to $27. It may be a little bit higher, but we know that Google is not charging $100 a lead. So we know that a lead should cost $20. When we say lead, now let's switch gears a little bit. When we say lead for this section here, these are your Google search ads. This is traditional ads on Google. And a lot of people get burned by this because they spend money to get traffic to their website, but they don't convert into leads. And this is called, on Google, it's called your conversion or your cost per conversion. And your cost per conversion is really your cost per lead. So on your Google Ads account, or if someone's running Google Ads for you, they should have a conversion number and they should have a cost per conversion number. Basically, what that means is when someone goes to a landing page like this, and we're going to talk about landing pages and converting leads. When someone fills out this form, when they do this chat widget, when they call this number here, those are conversions. Those are leads. So this needs to trigger back to Google to say, hey, you spent $1,000 and you got this many conversions. So your cost per conversion or your cost per lead is X. We're going to dive into this, what this means, but that's how we can correlate these numbers. We can look at Google's telling us it costs $30 a lead. That's what our cost per conversion. We should drive for that on our Google Ads. All right, so let's look at this section, which is Google search ads. Google search ads are pay per click, not pay per lead. So like I mentioned before, someone clicks this button, that's when you're charged, not when they actually turn into a lead. It's a whole nother side of things, which is optimizing your website. So how do you know what keywords to set up, what they're going to cost you, that kind of stuff? So you need a Google Ads account for this. You can go to Google Ads, ads.google.com. This is called a keyword planner. So someone that's running Google Ads for you, they would be able to do this. But basically, you go to your keyword planner, you do discover new keywords, you do electrician, and you could even plug in your website, and it's going to pull all the keywords from your website. But let's just keep it simple and do electrician. Now it's going to show you on here your average monthly searches. It's also going to show you the top of bid page of how much this is going to cost, and also the top of bid for the low range. So basically it's $6 to $40, but this is in the entire United States. So let's drill down on this and go down to Dallas. And of course, just pick your area and then click save. And now what this is going to show us is, let's go over here. In the Dallas area, there's on average monthly searches, 1,900 searches for electrician. And to get a click to your website is $20 to $80. So this is to be the top of the page bid is $20. On the high range, $80. So you can play around with this and you can do EV chargers, electrician near me. You can see that. This is usually when people are setting up their campaigns, they're going through and saying, okay, well, electric companies near me, we don't want that because we're maybe not an electric provider. We're more of a residential electrician. And this is how you can get cute about what you're going to actually run ads on. The other thing is you can find lower ones like this one. Let's just see. Mr. Sparky Electric. This is a branded keyword, but they're getting 20 things, and you could put an ad just for Mr. Sparky Electric. So basically, you set these up and you start getting traffic to your site. A very important part to this is having a landing page. A lot of times people just drive traffic to their main website and their website's not optimized for conversions and they just spend a bunch of money and they get no leads. So what our recommendation is, as I mentioned before, is to have on the first scroll like this, have a form right here that they can fill out very quickly, because these are bottom of the funnel people. They're people that are looking for an electrician. They literally click on the first thing that they see from Google. They go there and they want to get things done because they're ready to roll. So you got to make it easy for them. Call now, form, chat widget. So how this looks like for a commercial electrician, they land on it, form, chat widget, and then a call now up above. And as they scroll, call now, these are all buttons to call. So very simple. I think it makes sense of what you're looking at. Now, this is a very important part from an electrical contractor is tracking your leads. We have all spent money. Well, you may have. I used to be in the trades. I spent money and I would meet with the digital marketing company and they would say, you got all these conversions and your cost per conversion is $30. And I would say, well, who are all these leads? Who are these conversions? Can you tell me? And they would say, yeah, they called your business. You got to track that yourself. No, you don't want that. So what we recommend doing is this form right here. When someone fills out this form, it should go into a Google sheet or some type of a spreadsheet. When they call this number, they should go into some type of a spreadsheet. There should be some automation. So we use a tool that we have built, but basically what happens is when someone fills out a form, they automatically get a tag put on them for Google Ads and they go into the sheet. This allows us at the end of the month to go like this, take this, put this into a sheet and take this phone numbers and plug these phone numbers into the CRM. And then the CRM is going to tell us, hey, you converted this many people. This was your return on investment and this was your actual return on ad spend. Very, very important here. Most people miss this mark. And if you're on this video because of that, you need to give pushback to your digital marketing company and say, hey, how are you actually going to tell me who these leads are? I need a dashboard or something like that. Very important for us. When I made the company Flash, I said that if we're going to do Google Ads, we have to nail this part because I had the same issue. So to connect all the dots here, you can run Google local service ads. We talked about that. You can run Google search ads. Just because you run these, you're going to be paying per click. They need to go to your website and actually convert into a lead and then get your cost per conversion. Your cost per conversion should be your cost per lead. Then you should have a bunch of leads in there. So then you'll have the data. You'll say, I spent $1,000. I got 10 leads. That means it's $10. It's $100 or $10, $100 a lead. I spent $100 a lead that generated X amount of dollars, and you'll know your return on ad spend very clearly. So if you need help setting this up for your business, I'm happy to get on a call. We do free marketing audits. We can talk about your marketing strategy, discuss what this would look like. Hopefully this was valuable information for you. So that way you can take a game plan for Google Ads specifically for electrical contractors and go with it. If you like content like this, be sure to hit like and subscribe. We'll see you in the next video.